Well, hello, boys and girls. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever it is that you're watching this. I hope you're having a good moment. And honestly, I just appreciate you watching, so thank you. And to those folks that recently stumbled on the channel, thanks to those of you that subscribed and all that good stuff, man. It's very cool of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope everybody's lawn season is off to a good start. It certainly seems like everybody's up and running, or most of us are up and running. And if you saw my previous video, then you know that I for sure have already started. I went ahead and scalped my lawn. And at the end of that video, I went ahead and mentioned that the next thing for me would be the Pre-Emergent application. So I'm sharing that with you today. But before I do that, I wanted to start with this handheld shot because I wanted to just let you guys see what the backyard is looking like now post-mow. You'll see that it's a little trashed. We got some crazy rain, crazy thunder this morning. Water was just running like crazy across the entire lawn. And I got some clippings, some clipping drift throughout the lawn. And my flower beds even got some runoff. And so some of the mulch moved, and I need to freshen the mulch up anyway. I haven't touched the flower beds since last fall. I need to get in there and clean that up and cut off all the dead stuff so that the new stuff can start to grow in. And I need to touch up the edges and that. Anyway, there's a lot of cleanup to be done, starting with these clippings. Anyway, one thing you might notice over here is the bare spots that are along the edge. That's really just from shade. I mean, I can't do anything about it. The neighbors have huge trees. I've got some trees here. One of them has started to bud and grow some leaves. The other one is barely starting to bud. I'm hoping they slow down a little bit so that, some of these bare spots can maybe grow something that I can use to fill in the lawn. I still got some issues over here off the landing where the dogs and where we walk off. And so anyway, there's some stuff that I got to do back here. But anyway, I wanted you guys to see it and just kind of check it out. Anyway, let's get to the Pre-Emergent application. All right. I'll cut out everything that just happened. It's a mess. It's almost like this video shouldn't happen today. The primary herbicide I'm going to use today, and I'm not even going to let you read the label because the herbicide that's in this doesn't even go in this bottle. It's not this. I split a bottle of Indaziflam with a friend. He got to keep the real bottle. I got this bottle. Now, this particular formulation of Indaziflam, the label says that the yearly maximum amount that I can apply is 0.16 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet within a 12-month period. Now, the rate that I've used in the past, again, if the maximum rate was 0.16 ounces per 1,000, I just cut that in fourths. And so a fourth of that is 0.04 fluid ounces per 1,000 square feet. Now this year, because I'm leaving out the prodiamine, I'm going to bump this one up just a hair. Instead of 0.04 ounces, I'm just going to bump it up a little bit to 0.045 ounces. That 0.005 seems negligible, right? But really it isn't. When it comes to the application rate, again, if you consider that 0.16 is the yearly max, certainly sounds like a little bit goes a long way. All right, so I just paused the video, did the math real quick so I could keep the video moving along. I have 1,600 square feet of grass. I'm going to convert that 1,600 to 1.6, right? Drop the last two zeros. So I'm going to multiply 0.045 times 1.6. And when I do that, I get 0.072 fluid ounces total for the area that I'm looking to treat, which is my front yard. One hiccup you kind of run into when you're spraying your applications is that these products that you use to spray, usually they go in really small amounts. And so in order to measure something that small, you need a tool, right, that does that. I have found that syringes do that pretty well. But to add one more hiccup, one issue that I found is that it's really hard to find syringes that measure or that are marked in ounces. But it's really easy to find them marked in milliliters, right? So you got to take one extra step of converting your ounces to milliliters. But it's not that big a deal, man. You punch that into your Google computational device, it'll tell you what it is. So I already did that too. So if I punch into Google search, if I punch in 0.02 fluid ounces to milliliters or ml, Google says it's 2.13 milliliters. So what I have decided to do is, because I am already working with a very reduced rate with regards to the application rate, I have wiggle room. So I'm going to make it easier on myself. I'm going to bump up from 2.13 to 2.25 milliliters. That'll be easier for me to eyeball. I'm going to pour what looks like 2 milliliters into this cup because it's easier to syringe it out of this cup. So there's what I think is enough, right? Now I need 2.25. There we are. I already have a little bit of water. I'm going to spray this in there. Cleaned out my syringe. I got my cup clean here. Now, moving on to the second product. Now this one right here. This one here is really more just, we'll call it a kicker to my Pre-Emergent mix. The reason I'm using Simazine is because this one is kind of popular for like treating bluegrass, annual bluegrass, which is more commonly known as the evil Poa annua, which Indaziflam does too. I just want to make sure that I'm knocking them out. And so when it comes to this one, in the past, my application rate of this has been 0.5, even 0.55 ounces per 1,000. This time, kind of like I did with the Indaziflam, because I'm not using prodiamine, I'm just going to go up to 0.6 fluid ounces. I've already done that math too. If I take my app rate, 0.6 ounces, and multiply that by the 1,600 square feet, or 1.6, right? When I do that math, I get 0.96 fluid ounces of this to treat my front yard. When I punch in 0.96 fluid ounces to milliliters, I get 28.39 milliliters. But again, to make it easy, and because I have the wiggle room, right, I'm going to go ahead and bump that up to 29 milliliters just to make it easier on myself. I'm going to pour in here what looks like an ounce. Let's go all the way to, there we go, 29 milliliters. All right, you want to have half the water you're going to spray in the bucket already. You put your herbicides in. Now you mix it, right? Now I'm going to get into why half the amount of water in just a second. Let me mix it up first. And here's my sprayer, right? I can't put it up on the seat. I don't want it to fall over and it's breezy and all that stuff. So I'm just going to put it right here and I'm going to pour the bucket in here. But the reason I was saying about half the amount of water, so you get your herbicides ready, you measure out what you need, you put it in the bucket with water, right? You mix it up with the paddle. You're going to pour this into your backpack sprayer, okay? And again, I know it's out of the shot and I apologize, but I'm just trying to keep things moving here. Now, the reason for that is because there's like residue, right? There's stuff left in the bucket. So you rinse out the bucket. So put a little more water in here. And you do it one more time if you need to. And then you just look at the markings on your sprayer. All right, so there we go. We have our 1.6 gallons of water in the sprayer. Okay, now that I've got that in there, all right, now that I put the lid on it, let me give it a shake. And I'll shake it up a little bit more when I put it on. Let me not forget my battery. Let me bring down my sleeves. The boots, really, you wear the boots just to You don't want to walk into your house with chemicals and herbicides and stuff. So get yourself a pair of waterproof boots. And this is all I use them for, just to spray the lawn. So anyway, let me go ahead and spray my application. All right, well, I finished my front yard application, went straight to my truck and prepared the tank mix for the backyard. But again, I'm gonna spare you that footage. The next thing for me to do will be my first fertilizer application. And I just need to make peace with the fact that I may be doing that quite a bit earlier than I normally do. Again, general rule with fertilizers, if it's too early, a plant won't be ready to uptake nutrients. And right now, you know, the 2 or 3 times that I've run the mower over it, it's not growing enough. I'm not cutting off a lot. So chances are that it's probably not uptaking a lot of nutrients right now. So we'll see. I need to give that some thought, but that'll likely be the next one. I'm also considering shooting, really more pressing for me would be my fungicide application. And so I might shoot that one too, share it with you guys. Let me know if you want to see it. But anyway, for now, I guess I'll sign off and say thank you for watching. Be good to yourself, man. Be cool. I'll talk to you later. Bye.